Welcome, and welcome to our Liga Global ID session here at the Micro Focus Universe 2021 Virtual Edition. This session here is all about identities. It is about secure and guaranteed identities and verification of identities. We believe in Liga that everyone has the right to be safe, and to fulfill that vision, we've created a product that aligns to that process in a company or in an organization. Because we believe that who are the physical person and who are the virtual person, the digital person, those two things need to be very tightly connected and verified and guaranteed. It will make a lot of things far more easy when those things are synchronized and guaranteed. It will make it easy to verify your identity base, and it will be easier to guarantee who access your systems, and also obviously down the road in your audit trails to document who did what at given time. That's what we work with here, and we have done that on top of the Micro Focus existing product stack. So this is what we're going to talk about in this session. Also, at the end of the session, we're very delighted that we have Andrew Busby, Head of International Sales with Micro Focus, to join the session and talk about the relationship between Liga, Micro Focus, and how this cooperation gonna extend in the future. So welcome. What we do, as I said, with Liga Global ID is that we believe we have to work around identities. To achieve this, we have identified 4 cornerstones. The one cornerstone here is automation. Automation it has to be done. It has to be there. We cannot as manually control all these things that is required to do this. It is also needed that it goes on for all your users. It is not enough just to have a part of your users in the secure sector and others which are not secure. Everyone needs to be secure. Also, we need to make sure that the security can work 24/7 from any platform that the users has access to. Thirdly, this has to be done in a very, very user-friendly way. It has to work in a way where the users, they just see this is great, hey, finally IT did something good for me. That is also a very important thing. Otherwise, users will invent their own things. And fourth, we need to make sure that the compliance and regulation, the PSD2, eIDAS, Know Your Customer, GDPR, all these things are kept aligned and documented and in synchronization with these requirements and ISO, etc. So what we have here, as I said, we have Liga Global ID. Liga Global ID, we say maximum security, minimum effort. For you, in your organizations or you as a partner, this has to be an easy job to get this up and run. It should not take years to get this implemented. This shall be done only in a very, very few weeks. So how do we actually monitor and how do we work in the product? What are our thoughts here? The one thing here is the process circle, enhancing the identity lifecycle. The first step here is how can we enhance the create step? How can we integrate and automate the user onboarding? This is what we have done in the product. We have also made the issuing, this very tiny enrollment process, far more simplified, added self-service 24/7, so that's the way we have enhanced the onboarding and the issuing. The user area, this is the daily life. This is where you need to have a user-friendly, I just said that, but also a secure digital daily life. You need 2-factor access. Everyone knows that today, so we're providing a solution for 2-factor access. And lastly here, the review area. How do we do the review? How do we make sure that we have the audit trail, all these in place so you can fill in the paperwork correctly? For the flow, how is the user onboarded? How is that secured and verified? The first part here is the source. So you're looking, from where comes the identity. Then we have the create process. Is that a automatic onboarding, a rule-based logic, manual ID approval? The issue process, self-service as I said, national eID validation, so we make sure that who is who, user consent, that would be required in many cases that they give a consent. And finally, the two-factor authentication token enrollment. The daily life, I just said that. How do we do that easily? Flexible choice of two-factor authentication, smart card logins to Windows, and two-factor access to your mobile devices. And lastly here, the area for review. ID validation history, event logging, compliance reporting, etc. And just a small thing, revoke and deactivation. A system where it's easy for you as administrators or your colleagues to make sure when people are deactivated, all these things are revoked that have been connected to the user identity. Our virtual appliance is like a large hub. It's a machine that combines a lot of input. So we have in the system access to certificate authorities. We have integrated access to IDPs. All the applications that is required and then can consume identities are sorted out and built in various ways. Also, identity sources, from where do the identity origin, the external eID connections, you're using citizen IDs, whatever you have in different countries, we can integrate, if possible, obviously, to these identities. And finally, we can deliver all the log files and the reporting into your existing CM systems. How does this work with integration to the Micro Focus product stack? Well, it will work with identity governance, it will work with the ArcSight, it will work with the secure login, it will work with your identity manager, it will work with access manager, and it will also work, here lastly, with advanced authentication and probably more Micro Focus products. So, what are the benefits of going with Global ID? Firstly, this is an add-on, this is enhancing your existing product stack. So we're providing leading security, use the strongest authentication in the market and get rid of a lot of cyber threats that is around. PIN is better than password. PIN is tied to a smart card, it's local, it's never transmitted and never have to change. You know, quarterly password change, 8, 10, 12 characters, away. A simple PIN code and off you go. Legal compliance. Achieve compliance with the IDAS, ISO, PSD2, GDPR, and all the next upcoming rules that will probably, and that will come in the next many years. Integration to Micro Focus, I said that a few times, I repeat it here, built upon and very tightly integrated to these products. And lastly, ease a difficult process in one solution. Integrate smart cards, two-factor authentication tokens, ID validation, and self-service in one easy way to manage this. That's what we do. And with that, I'll just say, go here for our demo. Go to our virtual booth here at the Micro Focus universe. We can show the backend, we can show the client, and we can even also show the mobile client. And with that, I'd like to invite into this session the interview here with Andrew Busby. Now you have seen all the technology and all the fundamental ideas that we have behind what we do with Liga Global ID. And to close off this session and to bring in the more information on the headings and direction, we are very delighted that we can bring in Andrew Busby from Micro Focus. Andrew is Director for International Sales for the Identity and Access Management section of the product area. And Andrew, you can introduce yourself. So welcome to you, Andrew.
Thank you for letting me join you. So I look after the identity and access management technologies within Micro Focus, with responsibility for the international region.
Perfect. So when you look at such a product like Global ID, and understanding that we are enhancing this product stack. How do you see that? How do you see that kind of tap into the Micro Focus partner channel and the ecosystem?
It's key for us to see our technologies being enhanced by various different organizations. Identity and access management is a growing market and more important to businesses. And the ability to build upon that is getting more important for both our partners and for our customers. So having people to expand, especially in the areas, more complex areas around, like you guys have with identity proofing and getting that provisioning based on certificate enrollment, I think it solves some key problems and productizes something that's a key challenge for them today.
Exactly. And so in preparation for this session, we also talked about the convenience, and I know that Micro Focus had on the table doing appliance and simplifying stuff, and so why do you believe that is even more important today?
Well, convenience in computing is, we've seen, become a key component for most of the CIOs as they look at expanding their environment. It's one of the key drivers for cloud is the convenience factor. It's that ability to get systems up and running in a faster approach. And I think the appliances are the traditional way, but not necessarily the old. Traditional doesn't necessarily mean old. We still, I still like going and watching the Rolling Stones. Just because they're old doesn't mean they're no longer relevant. And I think that approach with appliances is still important. The ability to bring something in, to get something deployed in a very quick fashion that knows they can fix a problem is really important, especially with complex technologies like we're talking about here. And being able to solve that problem quickly, easily, and know that it will work together because that is a complete solution in a box is really important to our customers and how we move forward.
Brilliant, thank you. And I think that my last question here is how do you see the opportunities for the Micro Focus channel? How can they pick up such a solution here? How do you see that?
Well, I think the important thing is that as we said earlier, identity is a big problem for our customers, and we're seeing various different drivers that make them go more and more to identity. And one of those key drivers is compliance. And we see the need for them to solve those compliance issues, not just the why do I have access, but should I still have access? Is it appropriate for me to have access? And those are underpinned by that initial identity. Is it the right person who they're really dealing with in that aspect? So them to solve the problem from the enrollment right through the life cycle of that identity is really important to customer base, and being able to take something that can solve part of that problem in one go, and then for them to build upon that with the specific customer pieces afterwards and enhance that and build around that is really important. So the channel being able to take one part of that problem as a complete solution and then wrap that, I think it gives them a great opportunity to enhance their solution set, enhance their customers' security as a whole, because identity is the foundation today of security. We're seeing it more and more in the world with the COVID situation. It's really made organizations transform quicker than they ever often plan to. And identity transformation is a key part of that, working from home, where you are, getting the right access, and then making sure that it's the right person truly authenticating, and then wrapping that with that first initial provisioning through the systems is really important. And that's, I guess, what you guys provide is part of that foundation piece that then they can enhance with the other pieces that plug around that, and use the complete, Micro Focus family based on the OEM agreement you guys have got. It's known technology, it's known components they can then build upon.
Exactly. So thank you very much, Andrew, for joining this session. I'm very happy that you took the time to do it. And please, every one of you, go to our virtual booth. Make the appointment, go and look at all the white papers we have there, go and book demos. We are there, and please use this and also, obviously, please enjoy the Micro Focus universe in this virtual edition. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for you, Andrew.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me, and wish you guys great luck.
Thank you.